Hello guys, I am Divyam Purohit. In my last video, I had reviewed two books, The Courage to be Disliked and The Courage to be Happy. In this video, I am going to review other two books which are almost the same, which have almost the same concept as the other two books I had reviewed before, but they are a bit different, right? They have a bit different standpoints because they are published by a different author. These are the two books. Might by looking at it you may say that these are very not very good books. Maybe while looking at the cover you might say that, right? But that is not the case really. These two books are also a masterpiece. They are very good books. Firstly, I will give an introduction about the author as well. The author, Mark Manson. With his team, he was a blogger. They did some research with Adlerian psychology, and what they found different, and they did research, made some changes, and they developed their own psychology. Mark Manson, the author of this book, explains what they have researched in this book. You might see his blogs as well. I have seen his blogs for more reference. Okay, so the first book, it is about, first I will tell about the author, how he explains. In these two books, Courage to be Disliked, we had a conversational pattern, but in these books, we have a direct pattern. Mark Manson, the author, he writes directly, no conversational patterns. It might be a little different, it might be difficult to understand, but you will get it, okay? Once you read these two books, this reading will be very easy, but they are a bit different because what is the standpoint? They are telling you don't need to chase happiness. Happiness is something you will receive on your own. That is, they apply a reverse formula, right? If you do something bad, something good will happen as well. Something like that. If you exercise in a gym, first you will feel pain, but after exercising, all you have is bodybuilding, right? You get stronger only. So that is what it is explained in this book. The more you suffer, right? The more you suffer, the more happiness you will get later. Because the suffering, it happens at first. Sadness is all you have, but how you get happiness by it? Okay, happiness how you get? Because by sadness a problem is created as well. By sadness there is a loop of feedback. Now feedback loop, it is explained in the first book. Feedback loop from hell. This is a concept. You cry, then you say, why am I crying? You cry about crying. Why am I crying? For that crying you cry, and for that crying you cry, for that crying. That is a loop. And what is explained in these books, there are three ways to resolve happiness, okay? Three ways to get happiness, but you don't need to try, okay? Mark Manson, this amazing author, he explains with a bunch of examples, okay? In the first book, he gave an example of Charles Bukowski. He gave examples of superheroes. He made his own superheroes out of Disappointment Panda and so on. Right? All about this book. This book. There are two parts of this book. First book is about hope. It is about hope. He explained an undeniable truth about the world. That undeniable truth about the world is, one time all your family will be gone and all you have is yourself. One time all your family will be gone and all you will have is yourself. That is the undeniable truth mentioned in this book. But all you will have to do is accept it and go along. There is a very brilliant example given in this book. It is about Pilecki, the Polish, the war fighter during World War II, right? That example is given. Many example Mark Manson gave. Mark Manson gave very like known examples where that are known by people to make them understand more about these books. The subtle art of this book, it contains a lot of examples, such as I told you earlier. It even contains religious examples as well of gods. It contains like Buddha, that uh, Siddhartha, Gautam Buddha, that it contains examples of them also. So Mark, that is what makes this book easier to read. Mark explained with a lot of examples, right? That's why these books are easier to read. Once you start, you may feel like it is a little boring, but after you read and read and read and read, these books will feel a lot more satisfying and a lot more like you feel relief while reading these books, self-help books. There might be many vulgar words used in these books, especially these words. These words are used a lot in this book, but that doesn't make the book very bad. That doesn't make the book bad. See, you need to focus only on the psychology that matters. Psychology of this book is brilliant. In happiness, you could get 3 ways of happiness. One is by solving problems. Second, by love, you can get happiness. And third way of happiness is by contributing to others. That is the third way of getting happiness. The most relief you get in which type of happiness? By solving problems. By solving problems, you get happiness, right? Okay, so that was all for this book review. This also, I give both the books a thumbs up, 5-star rating. These two books are very, very good and it is worth it to read them. They are very similar to these two books. So I recommend you to read these two books first, because they are a bit understandable and a bit easier to read. And once you get to these two books, it might seem hard at first, but then you will get used to them as well. And they are very good books, just as I told you right now. Okay, thank you.